School bullying and racial discrimination in the U.S. Statistics on race and skin-colored issues in the U.S. According to a study conducted by the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics and the Policy Research Institute, school bullying related to racial and skin-color discrimination has severe impacts on the mental and emotional health of students. Here are some notable statistics. 37% of students reported they have been bullied because of their skin color or ethnicity. 60% of Asian students indicated that they have experienced discrimination in school settings. A recent study found that students of color are 2 to 3 times more likely to attempt suicide than white students. Over 30% of students who are regularly bullied exhibit symptoms of depression and anxiety, leading to long-term effects on mental health. The issue of skin color and racial discrimination in the educational context in the U.S. remains a heartbreaking and concerning reality. The statistics highlight the seriousness of this phenomenon, resulting in severe consequences not only for the victims but also for the community. The psychological trauma caused by bullying can last a lifetime, affecting individuals' ability to grow and succeed in the future. Examples of these victims include Maria, a Latina student who faces daily bullying due to her language and appearance. Jamal, a boy of color who endures discrimination and mockery for his culture, leading to severe depression. Aisha, a Muslim student who has been bullied for her clothing and beliefs, feeling isolated and without a place in society. Kenji, an Asian boy who has experienced stigma and is viewed as different, resulting in a lack of confidence. Fatima, an Arab student who has lived through ostracism and ridicule for her cultural background. Miguel, a Hispanic boy who has faced isolation and mockery from classmates, feeling hurt because of his ethnic heritage. These stories not only exemplify personal trauma, but also underscore the necessity for cultural and educational change in schools to create a safe and accepting learning environment for all students. Jamal's story. Jamal is a 14-year-old boy of color living in a suburban area of a major city. His family immigrated to the U.S. from another country when he was young, hoping to find a better life. Although his parents work hard to provide him with a good education, Jamal still feels like he never belongs in this place. Since entering high school, Jamal has faced severe discrimination from his classmates. Other kids frequently mock him for his skin color, the way he speaks, and even the traditional foods his family often cooks. They call him the pronunciation machine, ridiculing how he pronounces certain words and always making fun of him when he talks about his culture. Every day at school is a struggle for Jamal. He constantly faces sidelong glances and snickers from the group of friends he once thought were close. They are the popular kids in school, sporting the latest clothes and the newest phones. Jamal feels like an outsider, standing on the sidelines of a game he will never get to join. On the first day of the week, Jamal walks into class with a glimmer of hope that things might be different. But as soon as he sits down, he hears the whispers of the group behind him. "Look, Jamal is wearing that shirt again? Doesn't he have any new clothes?" A laugh erupts, and Jamal feels like 1,000 needles pierce his heart. He just wants to disappear. The embarrassment makes it impossible for him to focus on the lesson. Wednesday. During break, Jamal sees a group of students gathered around a phone. As he approaches, he realizes they are watching a short video of him, showing him being pushed off his chair by one of the bullies. "He's such a loser," one person in the group says, and the laughter erupts again. Overwhelmed with humiliation, Jamal leaves the area with tears streaming down his face, deciding not to return to school during breaks anymore. Friday, as the weekend approaches, Jamal feels like a shadow. He walks through the hallways without daring to look anyone in the eye. At this point, the group starts spreading images and videos of him on social media, making him a target for jokes and ridicule. A message is sent from an old friend. "Why don't you just kill yourself? The world would be better off without you." The pain keeps him awake at night. Saturday, Jamal decides that he cannot continue living like this. He writes a letter to his parents, hoping they will understand the pain he is enduring. The letter is not just a goodbye. It is a cry for attention to the issue of bullying in schools. "Mom, Dad, I don't know what to do anymore. I feel like no one at school understands me. They call me names I don't want to hear, and it makes me really sad. I've tried to fit in, but I only feel pushed further away. I don't know if I can keep living like this." As he reads those words, Jamal feels a sense of relief, as if he has finally expressed what is in his heart. But at the same time, a wave of fear overwhelms him. Fear that this letter might be the end of his story. Ultimately, Jamal feels too desperate and powerless. After a week of relentless bullying, he decides he can't take it any longer. On a dark night, he takes the heartbreaking action of leaving a short suicide note. "I can't live in this pain anymore. I've tried my hardest to be a part of this world, but it was never meant for me. I'm leaving because I don't want to bother anyone anymore." Jamal's death left a huge void in the hearts of those who loved him, forcing the school and community to confront the severe bullying issue they had long ignored. Other students began to speak up about the bullying and the pain they endured, sparking a conversation about respect and acceptance of differences within the school community. Aisha is a young girl living in a society filled with prejudice and discrimination. With her deep Islamic faith and traditional clothing, she has become a target of mockery and discrimination at school. Every day she goes to class is a challenge, not just for studying, but for facing the judgmental gazes of her peers. Aisha, with her sensitivity and pride in her culture, tries to fit into the school environment, but often finds herself isolated and bullied. The verbal attacks not only hurt her soul, but also lead to dark thoughts that she cannot shake off. After many days of enduring bullying, Aisha decided to write a suicide note expressing her pain and despair. Her story is not only a personal tragedy, but also a powerful voice calling for an end to discrimination and the need to build a society that welcomes and respects differences. Aisha, a young girl dressed in traditional Islamic attire, comes to school each day hoping for acceptance from her peers. However, instead of being welcomed, she frequently faces disdainful looks and mocking comments about her faith and culture. On the first day of the new school year, Aisha eagerly puts on the dark blue hijab that her mother gifted her. She enters the classroom with a bright smile, but as soon as she sits down, she hears whispers from a group of friends behind her. "Why is she dressed like that? It's so weird." One of them laughs loudly, making Aisha feel as if she is being exposed. Not knowing how to respond, she remains silent and looks down. When Aisha participates in group activities, she is often excluded. Her classmates plan outings, but no one invites Aisha. She finds herself sitting alone in class, gazing out the window, while her peers chat and laugh together. The mocking comments about her clothing grow louder, weighing heavily on Aisha's heart. She feels not only like an outsider, but also like a burden to those around her. The situation worsens when one of the students takes a photo of Aisha during gym class and posts it on social media with derogatory comments. "This is the Muslim girl in traditional clothing, not one of us." Vulgar comments and ridicule follow, leaving Aisha feeling desperate. She tries to talk to her teacher, but the teacher's response is simply, "Just try to forget it, Aisha. Don't let it get to you." The loneliness and suppressed pain make Aisha feel that she cannot continue. She decides to write a letter to express her feelings before taking action. The letter is filled with deep emotions and disappointment, a plea for acceptance and love from those around her. "I just want to be accepted. The cruel words have taught me that I am not worthy. I am leaving because I don't want to be a burden to anyone anymore. Please treat each other better for those who are still here." Aisha decided to end her life one dark night, and her letter was found afterward. Her death shocked the school and the community, sparking a profound conversation about discrimination and bullying. In her suicide note, Aisha expressed the deep thoughts and pain she had endured throughout her time in school. A letter from a girl: "Dear Mom and Dad and friends. Hello everyone. I write this letter with a heavy heart. I just want to be accepted, but it seems impossible. Every day I go to school, I feel like an outsider. The mocking comments about my clothing and my faith have made me feel unworthy of existence. They don't understand that what I wear is not just clothing. It is a part of my soul and my identity. I have tried to be strong, but those cruel words have taught me that I have no value. I can't endure it any longer. I am leaving because I don't want to be a burden to anyone anymore. I don't want to see my loved ones suffer because of my differences. I hope that those who remain will treat each other better. Remember that everyone has their own story and deserves acceptance. Please don't hurt each other just because of differences. Goodbye, and please live better for people like me." The pain in Aisha's letter not only reflects her personal life, but also serves as a powerful voice calling for an end to discrimination and the need to build a society that welcomes and respects differences. This letter moved many people and raised questions about how society treats those who are different. Aisha's letter became a strong reminder of the pain young people face when they are discriminated against and bullied. Many students began to speak up about their similar experiences, calling for acceptance and respect for differences within the school community. Teachers and school staff realized they needed to take action to create a safe and welcoming learning environment for all students, regardless of their background or faith. Miguel's story. Miguel is a young man of Spanish descent, filled with aspirations and dreams for the future. When his family immigrated to a large city in the U.S. in hopes of finding a better life, Miguel was filled with hope. However, as soon as he set foot in his new school, he quickly realized that reality was not what he had expected. On the first day of school, Miguel eagerly brought with him dreams and memories of his homeland. But when he entered the classroom, he found himself feeling different. The other students often looked at him with disdain, and mocking comments began to ring out. "Do you even understand English? Or do you only speak Spanish?" one boy jeered. Miguel felt as if he had been stripped bare, and shame overwhelmed him. In the days that followed, Miguel tried to fit in, but every effort failed. He was ostracized during group activities, never invited to hang out or chat with friends. The jokes about his ethnic background were not just teasing, they became deep wounds in his heart. "You're just an immigrant. Nobody wants you here," another student said. Ultimately, the loneliness and accumulated sadness left Miguel with no strength to continue. He felt trapped between two worlds, the homeland he had left behind and the new country where he would never be accepted. After a long struggle with feelings of isolation and rejection, Miguel decided to write a suicide note to express his feelings. The content of Miguel's suicide note. "Hello everyone. I write this letter with a heavy heart. I fled my homeland in search of a brighter future, but that has never become a reality. In my days here, I have lived in loneliness and sadness. None of you understand the pain I am enduring. Every day, I feel as if I am being isolated, like a ghost among others. I cannot live in this solitude. I have tried to fit in, but all I receive is mockery and ostracism. Please forgive me, and remember that we need to respect one another. Everyone has their own story and deserves to be accepted, regardless of their background or ethnicity. I hope you will learn from what I have gone through and treat others better. Goodbye." Miguel's letter was found after he decided to end his life. It sent shockwaves through the school community, prompting everyone to reflect on the issues of discrimination and bullying that he had endured. Miguel's story became a powerful reminder of the need to create a safe and welcoming school environment for all students, regardless of their background or ethnicity. The pain and loss of Miguel sparked a dialogue about solidarity and respect for differences, hoping that no one else would have to endure what he suffered. Fatima is a young Arab girl carrying the beauty and unique culture of her homeland within her. Since childhood, she has always been proud of her cultural heritage. The name Fatima is not just a label, it carries history, tradition, and love from her family. However, when she entered a new school, that pride quickly turned into pain. When Fatima stepped into the classroom, all the students' eyes turned toward her. Some looked on with curiosity, but most expressed mockery. She heard whispers and saw contemptuous glances. "What a name that's hard to pronounce," one boy exclaimed, causing the whole class to burst into laughter. Fatima felt as if she had been stripped bare, with waves of embarrassment crashing over her. Every day at school became a challenge for Fatima. Mocking names like Fatima Fata and the Arab girl became the norm. She was isolated during group activities. No one wanted to be friends with her. The derisive laughter from her peers made her feel lonely and humiliated. In class, when the teacher asked students to participate in discussions, Fatima often remained silent. She didn't dare to speak up for fear that it would only invite more ridicule. Her dreams and aspirations of becoming a writer, someone who could share her story, began to fade. After a long time of being bullied and isolated, Fatima could no longer endure it. She spent countless hours sitting alone, pouring out the pain in her heart. Finally, Fatima decided to write a suicide note to express her feelings. The content of Fatima's suicide note. Letter to family and friends. They call me names that I cannot bear. They don't know that the name Fatima carries a story and a culture that I am proud of. I just want to be myself, but I am too tired of the mockery and this isolation. I can no longer continue living in this pain. Loneliness and humiliation have become my closest companions. Every day I feel like a ghost among others. No one sees me, no one hears me. I hope everyone remembers me with love, not with hate. Know that I have tried to find my place, but it seems impossible. I hope those who remain will treat each other better and ensure that no one else has to go through what I have endured. Fatima's letter was found after she decided to end her life. It sent shockwaves through the school community, drawing attention from teachers and parents. Fatima's story became a powerful reminder of the need to end bullying and discrimination. Many students began to reevaluate how they treated each other and the biases they carried. School bullying is one of the pressing social issues that profoundly affects the mental health and future of many students. Among these, racism and discrimination based on skin color are becoming leading causes of bullying. While children seek friendship and acceptance, biases and discrimination make them feel isolated, humiliated, and lost. From the stories of Jamal, Aisha, Miguel, Fatima, and many others, we can clearly see that harsh words, isolation, and violent actions not only cause emotional harm but can also lead to serious consequences, including death. Victims not only face peer pressure but also endure ridicule from a society that does not respect differences. We must recognize that every name and every culture has its own value. Ridiculing or bullying others due to differences in skin color, ethnicity, or religion is not only inhumane, but also reflects a lack of understanding and narrow-mindedness in society. Victims of bullying often do not dare to speak up. They feel alone in the unfair battle they are fighting. Now more than ever, we need to raise community awareness about the importance of empathy, respect, and acceptance of differences. Education is key to creating a safe environment for all students, where everyone can express themselves freely without fear of criticism. Schools need to establish educational programs on cultural diversity while creating support channels for struggling students, allowing them to find safety and self-confidence. Each story of bullying victims serves as a powerful reminder of our responsibility to build a better world. We cannot stand idly by and watch the pain of others. We must take action to create change. Mutual respect not only helps individuals feel loved, but also contributes to building a peaceful society where everyone can live a full and happy life. In the end, remember that we all can be agents of change. Just one small act, like a word of encouragement, acceptance, or even just a smile, can make a significant difference in someone else's life. Let the stories of bullying victims inspire action so that no one has to endure this pain again.